Hey, how's it going, everybody? Just want to make a quick video today on this Chinese exhaust here for 2017 Kawasaki Z125 Pro. I picked this exhaust up a little while ago. Really couldn't find too many good reviews on YouTube about it, so I figured I might as well make one, help out anybody else who's kind of in the market for it. A couple of things I'd like to go over with the exhaust, just kind of start to finish, would be installation and fit up of the exhaust. Power characteristics and how it changed that, how it sounds, and just any other general comments on it. So as far as putting the exhaust on, it's super simple. I think anybody with some basic tools would be able to do this. You basically just pull the old exhaust off, put this one on. One thing to note, this is a Chinese exhaust with a straight header. You can see here, a lot of the Chinese exhausts on eBay do have a loop header, which kind of is a rip-off of the Yoshimura exhausts. And I don't know if this problem holds true for the loop exhaust headers, but this one in particular with the straight exhaust, the bracket they provide as you buy it, there's nothing actually on the bike that bracket can mount to. So I'm a mechanical engineer by trade. Whipped up a quick little bracket for it to mount in just here behind the foot peg. So it's really simple fix if you've got a 3D printer or something like that. These brackets are for sale. I've got them posted on eBay under TC Moto. But otherwise, it's a super simple exhaust to bolt on. So here's just a closer up view of the exhaust and what it looks like. I think pretty much all these Chinese exhausts that are listed on eBay are pretty much the same, but just for a little bit of reference here. This one does have the dual outlet there on the muffler. And then when I was referencing earlier with that bracket we had to make for the exhaust hanging, you can see there the gray plastic piece, if I can point that out and balance my laptop at the same time, be this piece here. Well, again, we got those lists on eBay. I'll put the link in the description below. And that is what she looks like. And as far as the power goes on this exhaust, I mean, the bike really doesn't make much power to begin with. It's somewhere in the neighborhood of 8-9 horsepower. And really, I would venture to say with this Chinese exhaust, my butt dyno tells me it makes less horsepower than with the stock. But this thing really, it makes decent torque down low. If you're rolling it on from a stoplight, fairly low in the RPM range, it does pull decent. But on top, at least for me, I think it really falls flat, and I think it's worse on top end power than the stock exhaust. Then elaborating on that power characteristic a little bit, that's not to say like the bike's not fun to ride with this exhaust. It's just a little bit different than with the stock exhaust. That being said, I pretty much run it wide open everywhere, and it's a blast because you can just hold it wide open wherever you go and you don't have to worry about getting a ticket. And I think that's kind of what makes this bike so fun, is you can feel like you're riding it to its fullest while still staying out of trouble. As far as top speed goes with this bike, that's kind of one question that seems to come up a lot, around both this and the Grime and any of the smaller bikes is, top speed. Between this exhaust and the stock exhaust, I think I topped out like a full tuck, no wind on a flat road. I was like 65-ish around there with the stock exhaust. I think the fastest I've had this with the Chinese exhaust is like around 63, but I mean, that's, I would chalk that up as riding variables. I don't think that's a straight comparison. They weren't complete ideal conditions, nor the same conditions between tests. With as little power as this bike has, I mean, you could chalk that up to just a slight variance in the grade of the road if you're going slightly uphill, slightly downhill, if you've got a headwind. And with the small amount of horsepower this bike makes, that can really make a big difference in your top speed. But overall, I'd say it's pretty similar. I wouldn't really expect any gains on top speed with this over the stock exhaust. And one last thing I'll address here before firing it up and letting you guys hear what it sounds like would be whether this exhaust is worth $100 in my opinion, which is pretty much what they go for on eBay. For the money, I don't think it's bad. If you're just looking for something to make it sound a little bit better over the stock exhaust and not really looking for any performance gain, maybe a tuner, intake, cams. If you're going to go like all out, you might want to consider something better. But like this thing is all stock except for the exhaust. I was just looking for something to make it sound a little bit better, so cars can hear me as I'm riding around. It actually sounds a little bit like a bike instead of a lawnmower. Yeah, I would say it's worth $100. I mean, and if you don't like it, it's not that big of an investment. You can still buy another exhaust, and you won't be out any more than $100. So, all right, go ahead and fire it up here so you guys can hear it. It sounds pretty decent in idle. It's pretty low. Sounds all right. Let me know if you guys liked the video. I can keep doing more on the bike. If you have anything else you'd like to know about it, just leave in the comments below. Overall, if I had any recommendations on it, or if I was doing it again, I would probably go at least with the loop exhaust header. I trust Yoshimura's engineering that there's a reason they have that loop header. And there's, likely some advantages to that over the straight header, like I showed in this video. So thanks for checking it out.